Hi, I'm Ali and this is the new Nike Alphafly 3. But is it any good? Formerly known as the Nike Dev 163 prototype, the Nike Alphafly 3 has already piloted to a world record. But what's it like to run in Nike's top tier super shoe? To move forward, let's look back at the version 2 quickly, just to highlight some of the changes that have occurred in the latest iteration. So this is the version 2 of the Alphafly. The men's size came in at around 249 grams. The women's size came in at around 198 grams. You also had 40 millimeters of foam packed here in the heel, and then 32 millimeters in the forefoot. So we had an 8 millimeter heel to toe drop. In the latest version, we've got the men's size weighing in at 218 grams and the women's size weighing in at 174 grams. We've then got the same amount of foam in the heel and the forefoot, which means we've got the same 8 millimeter drop. But as you probably noticed, this shoe is a lot lighter than its predecessor. According to Nike, it's lost about 50% of its weight. So it's aiming to be lighter and faster than ever before. Now, the Nike Alphafly also has 3 main components. So you've got the carbon fibre plate, you've got the Zoom X midsole foam, and then you've also got these AirPods. Now, all of these features are still here in the latest version, but they've all been tweaked slightly to have a brand new formula. Now, for a lot of people, one of the biggest pitfalls of the Alphafly 2 was the fit and comfort. A lot of this was caused by the width of the shoe and the fact that there was some pretty severe contouring to the footbed to accommodate for the plate and AirPod combination. What we've now got on this latest version is this one continuous midsole, and the shoe's actually built on a slightly wider last overall. This just gives it a lot more structure underfoot, making it feel more stable, dialed in and connected. In terms of comfort, we've also got this sort of moulded sock liner and a little heel pod at the back here to protect the Achilles. That was another area where a lot of people found they got rubbing over sort of the half marathon and marathon distance. And overall, I think these changes to the comfort are going to make this shoe appeal to a much wider variety of people and really help you dial in to that pace over a half marathon or marathon distance when you might be starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, feet are starting to hurt. These are going to help you continue at that pace for longer. That being said, the changes aren't so significant that this feels like a totally different shoe. This Zoom X midsole still creates that nice soft feeling underfoot, it's still got that bouncy and propulsive ride, and the Zoom AirPods as well just propel you along really, really nicely. I would say if anything, it does feel slightly more aggressive than the version 2, and again, I think that's because when you're going forward, you really do feel this sort of tippy sensation thanks to the AirPods in the forefoot. One thing to note though is that clip-flop sensation that lots of people disliked in the version 2, it is still here in the version 3. Slightly less noticeable perhaps, but it's still there. Then in terms of the fit, it's pretty flawless to be honest. I opted for the same size that I wear in the Alphafly 2, that's a women's UK 8.5, and I had absolutely no issues with room in the toe box, plenty of room while also having a really, really good lockdown. I mean, in terms of super shoes, for me, the Alphafly's lockdown is probably the best. And even on sort of sharp corners, I had no issue with any slipping and sliding. In fact, I reckon the heel counter probably helps that ever so slightly more than the version 2 as well. There's also no pressure on the top of the foot from the laces, and the tongue, I mean, it's built into the knit upper, but there's no issues with anything sliding around at all. Overall, I'd say the Alphafly 3 is lighter, punchier, and a lot more accommodating in the comfort department than the Alphafly 2. The bouncy and propulsive ride is an absolute joy to be honest. The lockdown is flawless, and overall there's a right level of comfort to keep you going and holding that pace for the half marathon or marathon distance. If you're chasing down a PB in 2024, then I think the Alphafly 3 is going to be a top option for many.